Pisces, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for October 10th through the 16th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this channel is about using the real constellations in the sky, known as Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below for more information. All right, so Pisces, this week we have a lot going on. We have a full moon taking place in your sign over the weekend. So this is a great time to now have this sort of status check. The status check of your life in general, particularly from over the past 6 months. Because 6 months ago, you had a new moon in your sign, and that was a time of new beginnings with you, your goals, your ambitions in life, your self-image for some of you. And so now, this is all in the status check. You can see how it's going. How is your goals going? How is life going in the general sense? Is there a lot to learn about the self? And most importantly, has there been freedom? Because Uranus has been transiting your first house over the past 7 to 8 years, and this has been helping you really cultivate who you truly are. And so now the full moon will be in a very close conjunction to this Uranus, helping you see the importance of freeing yourself up, of being yourself, because of course we're all very unique, very different. We all have a very unique contribution to the world, and it's very important that we express that we embody that we allow that to flow. And in the first house, that becomes very important. So it's a time for you to really get in contact with that true self, the eccentric you, being who you truly are. And I think this full moon could certainly be illuminating that. And as a result, that might help you see how things are cultivating with your goals, because they're more in alignment with who you truly are. All right, and this is all in the context of the fact that we are in the lunar cycle of relationships for you. You just had a new moon here a couple weeks ago or a week ago, depending on when you're watching this. So it's been this time of relationships. And so there's a lot of positive energy here. You got Jupiter, Mercury, the sun. You're gaining energy through them. You could be cultivating them. In fact, the full moon can also help you do a status check with the relationship stuff and see the importance of course, yes, we have ourselves, we have our own personal needs, but then there's also relationship needs. There's also the importance of relationships. We can't have one without the other. And it's a great time to be cultivating both and to find balance with both. Okay, and this is still a time of still cultivating, moving things forward with both new and existing partnerships in your life. All right, so let's go and look at this in terms of the aspects. The week is sort of split up into two halves. We've got the first half, which is the easier aspects. Mercury will be conjoining up to Jupiter. So your traditional ruler here, maybe you're feeling quite mental, communicative in those relationships. Maybe like exchanging ideas, things like that. Or there's a lot to learn about relationships, perhaps the first half. But in either case, looks quite positive, collectively speaking. And yeah, your mind could be activated, communication. And all in all, there's just a lot to learn, I think, about those one-to-one connections. Venus will be trining up to Chiron, so you could be maybe feeling a bit healing energy in those relationships. Maybe it's a great time to get deep and open. You can enjoy this, in fact, with Venus in dignity in your 8th house. So this is open with yourself, of course, which is making this an excellent time for enjoying a bit of maybe psychology or healing, transformation, spirituality, but also in those relationships, intimacy, vulnerability, these kinds of things I think can be very positive for you when it comes to those interpersonal connections. And you can find that quite healing with that trine to Chiron. Mars will be sextiling up to Neptune, so there is an easygoingness about this first half, which could be about this new motivation you've had over these couple weeks about your career, about your productive life, whatever that's been for you. Mars is at the top of the chart. You guys should have pretty good energy levels, collectively speaking. And so it's a great first half for getting things done in a way where I think you're willing to sort of take a step back and go with the flow. And in that way, I think you could find that maybe you do get quite a bit done. Now, the second half is a bit more challenging in the sense of Mars. Mercury will be squaring Mars. Mercury will also be squaring up to Pluto. So here, Thursday onward, I think it's good to bring some extra attention here to your own personal drives. Because although there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of motivation, that stuff's very positive for you. In the square, we want to make sure we're not going to any extremes, or if you're feeling blocked or frustrated, or there's something there that we're just not able to get through, taking a step back, right? Giving a bit of space there. And that'll be maybe uncomfortable to do that because it's a square, or it may take extra intention to take a step back, but I think that can be a very positive thing. And as a result, I think you can find that the second half of the week is very constructive for you to again cultivate those career things. And this is also involving relationships, so do bring a sort of space in those relationships this first half. And even things when it comes to your home and family life on that note, since Mercury also rules your fourth. But definitely relationships, definitely career, definitely the home stuff. Give a bit of space. Pluto could be over the weekend giving you this sort of awareness about the ego and what it is that we want to control, or really where we have fear. So some fears might come to the surface. It depends on your personal chart, but if you are feeling that wanting to control, wanting things to be a certain way in those areas, again, this is based on the deeper fears that we have coming to the surface. So again, it's a great second half of the week for transformation, for really breaking old cycles, breaking old patterns through that centered sort of lifestyle. All right, so that's that. Mercury will be sextiling up to Saturn, so there is a bit of support considering the fact that Mercury is very challenged this second half. But here, maybe productive. Maybe you are willing to be patient, take a step back, or there's an opening to do that, which is the sextile up to Saturn. Maybe too, continuing to build your outlook on life, taking your possibilities and potentials seriously can also be supportive as well. All right, so that's the week in a nutshell. The strongest astrological events being the full moon. So as we approach that, a bit of momentum, a bit of awareness. It's about you. It's about yourself, learning more about that, particularly about the importance of freedom, of being who you truly are. And in that way, you can find that, you can sort of do the status check in terms of how your goals are, how your direction is going, and whether that's in alignment with who you truly are. And if it is, on some level it is, and that's great. Some levels it's not, so letting that go, but a great time to do the status check. And of course, continuing to cultivate those relationships. There should be opportunities to do that through relationships as well. Opportunities coming through people you know or things like that could certainly be possible. And yeah, good communication this first half, and all in all, things moving forward for you there. All right, so Pisces, have a fantastic week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.